Okay, the 2026 social media system. We are going over today the system responsible for 6.8 million followers and 15.7 mil cash collected. That's between myself, any of my brands, and any brand that I have had equity in. And look, one of our teams, one of the brands I have equity in, did 60K today using this strategy. 19K payment, a 20K payment, 22K payment, and the guy's paying the rest tomorrow. So we did 60K, over 60K today, using this exact strategy for one of our brands that I have ownership in. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna get into it. We have a full 4 or 5 steps here that we are gonna go over. So the first thing is, with your brand, you have to have your avatar, your core message, and then your pillars and principles absolutely dialed in. This is where I start with every brand. This is where I start with every offer that I make. I start with who you're trying to reach. And it's not like, oh, well, they think about this and they think about that. That's step 2. That's the emotions. It's who they are. So let's say I'm trying to target you right now, for example. Let's just use me as an example for this entire thing, okay? You are probably a male, probably aged 20 to 40. That's a big age range. Maybe we even say 22-ish to 40, like kind of out of college, kind of working a job. You live in America. We'll say USA/UK, but it's usually America. You're definitely somebody that wants to grow a brand. You're probably a little bit right wing. Like, I'll be honest. You know, if you're a liberal watching this, like, we'll work with you, but you might not get along with me. Okay, so there's characteristics. That's like who the person is. You want to have this down, because you can start to plan out what this person's actually interested in. And usually this person is kind of who you are. That's usually what it should be, especially for a personal brand. Now, what they think, what they feel, the emotions. There's a couple splits on this. There's pains and problems over here, and then there's desires over here. So for example, a desire example, oh, I didn't do the D here. There we go. And a desire example for someone that's watching this, you, for example, is you want to be a millionaire. But the further layer of that, because how this works, by the way, is you'll say, oh, I want to be a millionaire. But really you want to retire your mom, and you want to never worry about food, and you want to be able to pay for medical bills. That's the reality, okay? That's the real desire. You want to be a provider. You are a man. You want to be a provider. That's what you want to do, okay? So you don't just want to be a millionaire. You want to be a provider. And to be a provider, you have to be a millionaire, okay? You pay the medical bills, etc., like I said, okay? On the problem standpoint, you'll tell me, well, I don't know. I just don't know how to do it. You don't just know how to do it, not know how to do it. You are scared of putting yourself out there and being judged for even attempting to do it, and maybe you're scared of losing money, okay? So the problem is losing money, right? You have a belief issue, scared to be seen failing. Boom. Very simple. I just broke down your psychology in 2 seconds. Okay, now there may be other levels of that. Maybe you're an advanced business owner and your problem is just like, it doesn't work. Whatever we do, it doesn't work. I can't get content to work. You're gonna come to someone like me. But your pain, your problem, your desire is gonna be slightly different, okay? But you're gonna wanna identify that for your customer. And then you come in and you identify the enemy that they should have, the mechanism in terms of how they're gonna get to the dream outcome, the consequence of not achieving it, and then the actual outcome, okay? So who they shouldn't be listening to. You should not be listening to these content scam little guru coaches. I'm somebody that's actually collected cash and built systems around this, and I'm a higher T individual. I kind of get it. One of these nerds, they put their glasses on. Oh, well, you got to do your content this way, that way. Bro, that's the enemy, dog, okay? What they shouldn't be doing, what you shouldn't be doing is you should not be worried about edits. You should not be worried about the music. You should be worried about the message. You should be worried about tapping into the emotions, okay? Look, mechanism, how they achieve the dream outcome. You're going to achieve your dream outcome by dialing in your message and selling an offer that you have expertise in and you can get a result in. And that means you're going to build a social media brand, a personal brand that you are going to have forever. And it's not going to be a gimmicky brand built around one thing. It's going to be a brand built around who you are and who you are becoming. And the people that fuck with you are going to be these people right here, and they're going to stick with you forever if you build it the right way. Okay? That's the mechanism. The mechanism is authentic content. Consequence, if you do not make a change, if you do not do these things that we are talking about, you're not going to reach the dream outcome of being a millionaire and being a provider and paying those medical bills, because it requires work. It requires actually doing the thing, okay? So, and the outcome is really just this desire and the lack of these problems. No more problems and the achievement of the desire, okay? To make your core message, you do the enemy plus the mechanism plus the consequence plus the outcome. That is your core message, okay? I'm going to let you do your own thing, but you put these all together, and then it's a sentence or 2 sentences long, and that's your elevator pitch. It's a thing that you can push to people in your captions, in your videos, in your long form, in your ads, okay? And it should directly tie into the way these people here think. This is how we button it up. Nobody's going to teach you this. Oh, here's the viral hook. They're going to say, here's the viral hook, and oh, how do I make the edit so perfect, and the CapCut tutorial. You don't see any of that shit on my channel because it's bullshit. This is the real sauce. If you can do this, the video can be the grainiest thing ever. It can be the grainiest thing ever, and you will still make a ton of money. Now, core principles. These are 9 things that you're going to want to have in your content. So again, we're not talking about edits. We're not talking about CapCut. We're not talking about transitions. We're talking about the things that you're actually speaking about. So you're going to take this core message and you're going to inject this core message along with the avatar topics and the pain points and the desires, the emotions. You're going to inject that into each of these. So what does your avatar care about when it comes to lifestyle? What's the proof that it works? Have you actually achieved it? Value. We got to have some value around the mechanism. We got to have some value around the dream outcome and how to achieve it and how to get rid of these problems, okay? So on and so forth. You want to be authentic. You got to have stuff that goes viral. If you don't go viral enough, you don't have broad stuff, you're going to be in a position where you're talking to nobody because nobody's following you, because nobody's finding you, because you're not viral. Authority and proof, you got to show your receipts. You got to show your results, your client results, all that. Storytelling. Talk about where you were and what you were doing and how you got through that painful moment and what you've become since then. The community that you're building. You want to connect with people, little things here and there. Like one thing that I have that's pretty funny, I call it 2 steaks a day. So I'll post it on my story on IG all the time, and that's my little community thing. You got to have 2 steaks per day. That's how you make it, okay? Not really, but it's a funny joke. That's community, personal philosophy, your worldview in pure form. Why did I tell you in this video, in the first 30 seconds, 1 minute, that I am right wing? Because it's my personal philosophy. I want to work with people that think like me and are like me. And finally, direct CTAs. I got to tell you what to do. And I'm going to tell you what to do at the end of this video, and I'm also going to tell you what to do right now. I got a playbook that details this entire thing for free below. You can go grab it. And additionally, if you want this sauce for yourself, working with me and my team, you can do so as well at the link below. You can apply, okay? Cool. So the next thing is the content flow, how it actually works. The first thing is you're going to want to have creation sources. For me, that's long form YouTube and daily tweets. I also do film selfie videos, but a lot of my ideas come from the daily tweets, and that's how I film the selfie videos. So my best performing daily tweets are the topics for the selfie videos. Up here, so basically when I say creation sources, it's like testing of ideas. So I'm testing ideas here on my Twitter. And additionally over here, we're filming long form. I'm filming long form right now, and my team is going to cut this up into short clips that can be used on my social channels here, my business social channels. You'll see on this YouTube channel, it'll be on there as well. So clips also get cut up from the long form. And then it also I can put lifestyle in here in terms of a distribution flow on the short form. So I can do little kind of like B-roll edits. I can just show lifestyle stuff. I can show a little bit of the behind the scenes. I can do selfie videos, that sort of thing. So this is my testing ground, my ideation source, and this is my distribution source. All of these ideas and topics get tested over on Twitter, here on YouTube, but the real distribution and the real growth comes from the short form. It comes from my Instagram, it comes from my company Instagram, it comes from my TikTok, and it comes from all my clips pages, okay? And it's gonna be the same thing for you. Additionally, we're then gonna test our winners. So we're gonna find our winners, and this is data for the ads and CTAs and stuff like that. You're gonna need your clips, your selfie videos, and your lifestyle, and you're gonna start to prepare these for your ads over here. But before that, I'm also gonna show you one other thing. All your top of funnel stuff, all the stuff that's organically getting you follower growth right here should be posted over and over and over and over again on a couple things. On IG, you should use trial reels. You should also post your winners periodically on the IG feed every month to like 3 months. Okay, so every 1 to 3 months, you post your winners over on the IG feed. Additionally, TikTok, you can spam, and then clips pages, you can go crazy. If you have the capacity to have a bunch of clips pages, you have a team that can make things happen there, you can go nuts on clips pages. You can have your own 10 clips pages where you just blast your winners out. Additionally, you're going to want to find your stuff that's best nurturing and also your stuff that's making you the most money. These are your best CTAs. These are your best nurturing pieces that make people say, this guy's an expert. And the top of funnel growth is the best stuff that makes people follow you. Okay. Now, you can do a couple other things here. We're getting into the ad sequence now. This is important. People think it's just content, but once your content's working, once you have all this, the distribution flows are there, the creation sources, the ideation sources are there, you need to run an ad sequence. Because if you're making money from that, all of this organic, why wouldn't you boost it? It's basically free cash. It's basically a free return on ad spend. If you can spend $1 and get $5 back or $10 back, you're basically guaranteed to profit $4, on 5 back, or 9 on 10 back. It's free money. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to take your best videos. I've also tested story ads where I'll do like a CTA like this and I'll run it. These don't work as much anymore, but I've ran it, so I'm including it in here. But additionally, your video ads are super important, and these are going to be your best, biggest videos that just get you the most followers and most attention and most reach. You're going to run these to a broad audience, people that don't know who you are. The ad is the targeting, so the creative is the targeting. The AI algorithm on Meta, specifically, we're going to be running this on Meta. The AI algorithm will show it to who it thinks is going to like this best, and it's very accurate. So you're just going to find your best videos, your best top of funnel videos, like I said, from organic, and you're going to put them in a big ad sequence. And I have other videos on how we run this and how we spend $1 million in ads and all that sort of stuff. But you're gonna put it in a sequence, and it's just going to blast out to a ton of people, and the CTA is going to be to follow you, okay? And it's going to bring people back to your profile. And on your profile, once somebody follows you, or once somebody's watched 3 seconds or more, okay, 3 seconds or more of this video, you're going to retarget them with your content, with your nurture. And so you're going to retarget followers, leads, and site viewers, and anyone that's watched 3 seconds or more of this, and you're going to give them a lead mag. You're going to push them to an opt-in to get their email. You're going to push them to your YouTube videos. You're going to push them to further reels and carousels on your feed that nurture and educate them on a middle of funnel step. Because you have to understand, when someone follows you from this, they have no idea who you are. They saw this video, maybe they say 1 or 2, they come to your profile, okay, they scroll a little bit, they see like another 2, 3 videos. Fine, whatever. And guess what? They still don't know who you are. They need to see 20, 30, 40 videos from you and like those videos for them to be like, yeah, this guy's great. Like, I really like this guy. This guy's cool, okay? And when they think you're cool, you can hit them with your playbook, and this used to be our propaganda playbook. We just change it back to the social media playbook for now. But you can hit them with the playbook, and they will give you their phone, their email, their name, or some kind of lead magnet or whatever it is, and that pushes them to opt in. And your IG then takes them to a your IG then takes them to an opt-in page here. And like I said, get their phone, their email, and their name. I'm going to go through what that looks like over here. Now, your bottom of funnel is your best CTA. So this is a client of mine that we ran up pretty hard. And he said, I'm looking for 5 action takers who are ready to scale to 20K a month through Amazon arbitrage. If you're interested, comment me, and I'll send you the details. That was one of his best performing CTAs organically. So you would take that, and then you would run it as another CTA to the people that have watched all of this and have gotten this thing and have followed you from this. You're just pulling them down the funnel. You know what a sales funnel looks like, right? Sales funnel looks like this, okay? You're pulling them down the funnel. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Duh. Statics, stories, reels, push them to DM combos and applications, okay? And so you're going to push them to DM combos just like this. And you can also push them to an application just like this, okay? And this is social proof that we would run as an ad, okay? The only people that are going to see this, though, are the people that have followed and the people that have been nurtured, because I don't want to waste ad dollars on somebody that doesn't know who I am or just followed me from one video. I want them to be nurtured. I want them to see a bunch of what we have going on and a bunch of who I am and what we're doing. And the only way they're going to do that is if they watch all this stuff, and we're going to force them to watch it with our ads. They're also going to be seeing it organically, but we're going to force them to watch it. We're going to force them to get this thing. And when they do, we're going to start to hit them with social proof that makes them want to buy. Okay? We can force those things to happen. Now, we also want to create deals. So the initial touch point, we can have a setter calling, we can have a text blast, and we can have an email blast. So when somebody gets this thing, you can see the arrow comes up here, we're hitting them with a call from our team, we are texting them on a blast, and we are emailing them on a blast. This is what we do. So it's like, hey, here's the playbook you wanted. Curious what made you grab it. So anyone that grabs it, if you go down below right now and you grab it, you're going to get a text message that says, hey, curious what made you grab it. You're also going to get an email, and you are going to get a call from my team. You're going to get all this stuff because that's how we follow up. That's how we pull you further down the funnel and make you interested. And maybe you're brand new and you just grabbed the playbook. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you a nurture video. And these nurture videos are similar to middle of funnel. It's doing the same thing, but I can manually send it. I can push you into my Telegram. I can get you into a value video. I can show you case studies and testimonials. I can text that to you. I can give it to you on email. I can have my team give it to you when they're on the phone with you. Okay? This is to push you over the edge. This is to get you to like me a lot more. This is what you should be doing for your brand and your content. So you can have channels, nurture videos, email list. We email every single day. Email every single day because that frequency keeps me in your mind and reminds you that I exist. And then I remind you that there's an application here that you can take advantage of, and it pushes you to the application, okay? And then that's really the final CTA, which is the application, the call booking, and our CTAs, okay? And that stuff all exists in the lists, on email, the nurture videos, the Telegram. It exists in this video. It obviously also exists over here in the ad sequence, and it exists over here in the organic sequence. But oftentimes, it's not always really the organic. Like, people are like, well, I make money off my story sequences. Great. You make money off your story sequences. But are you doing all this and this? Oh, well, no, I'm not doing that. Well, that's why you're stuck at 20 grand a month. You know? You're stuck at 20 grand a month because your content's good and you have a decent offer, but you're just telling people to buy off story sequences and some DMs. You don't have any follow-up. You don't have any paid ads. You're not forcing people to watch you through paid ads. You're not getting people on the email list and following up. I don't know how you're making money, right? Like, and I don't know how you think that you're gonna get to 500 grand a month right now when you're stuck at 20 and you're just doing content. This is all the stuff that matters. This is the social media system. And people don't get that. They just think the social media system is content. It's not just content. It's everything. It's all of this stuff. It is staying in touch with people and staying top of mind for people. Now, the numbers. This is the final part. The things that you're going to want to track. Your views are number one. As much as people say views aren't important to track, you should be tracking your views. And you should be because it's just like your main top of funnel metric. Like if you're getting 10 million views a month and you're not growing followers, we have a conversion problem. You know, you grow 100 followers, you get 10 million views. We have a problem. You're not converting followers. And there's an incongruency. So you need to track that, okay? Views, number one. Two, you want to track new followers and how many you're actually getting per month. You then want to track leads because your leads are the people that convert from follower into, they give you their name, their email, their phone, okay? That's important. That brings somebody down the funnel. Application comes after. Did they actually apply for more help? Now, your application can also be kind of considered a call. Sometimes people, have the application on the call booking. I like to separate it, but it also depends on the offer. So you can track that as well. There's going to be drop off. Usually, let's say we get 100 people to apply, we're going to get 50 calls out of that. And if we get 1,000 apps, we can sort of expect, leads, we can sort of expect 100 applications. And if we got 1,000 leads, we probably got at least 2,000 new followers, okay? If we're hitting them hard enough, we can definitely expect probably half of those people to convert. Sometimes we get even closer to 100% of them, but that's what happens. Views. If you want 2,000 new followers, you're probably gonna need, I would say about 5 million views on average, but it's also gonna depend on the quality of those views and the topic that's being discussed, okay? Now, calls, let's say you get 50. Show percent, a good show percent is 75%. You should be tracking a show percent. If you are not tracking your show percent, we have a big problem. The colder the traffic, the less warmed up and less nurtured they are, the lower the show percent. Okay? You need to be tracking your show percent. Qualified percent. How many people showed are actually qualified? A good rate is 80% plus. Okay? And of these people that are qualified, we usually like to be at 40 to 50% close rate. Okay? That's how we track it. Then there's contracted cash and then collected cash. Usually you're going to want to be around a ratio of 80 to 90% collection versus contracted. So let's say you contract 10K. You want to have at least 8 to 9K of that collected up front, and the rest of like the 1 to 2K can be on a payment plan. That's the average. Okay, that's typically where we want to be if you're running the system correctly. This system as well is designed to fill these gaps. Like if you have a gap where the leads just aren't converting to apps and you're getting 1,000 leads and you're getting like 15 apps, we clearly have an issue here on the conversion, right? And this system right here is designed to fix that gap. It's designed to close that gap. And it's something in here is likely missing. So it's likely a nurture problem. It's likely a setter problem, an email, or a text, or an ad, okay? And this is all can be summed up as like nurture, okay? And that's pulling people down the funnel. And so then we have to dig into this and figure out what the problem is and why people are dropping off so much, and then we fix it. But it's already built into the system here. So look, guys, this is the 2026 social media system, the same system that's responsible for 6.8 million followers and 15.7 mil cash collected. And guess what? I might run this system in 2027 too, and 2028. It's not going to change much. So maybe the title of this video will change, okay? Maybe it'll be 2027, 2028, whatever. You get the idea. This system has worked for me for the past 7 years. It's driven a ton of followers, a ton of cash collected. We just did a 60K day with our team, and we do that routinely. Okay, we do that routinely using this exact system right here. So look, if you want access to the system for free, I have a playbook on it that details it way further in depth. You can go down below, you can grab it. But if you want the real thing, like the full thing, you want me to get hands-on with me, my team, and we can come in, we can grab a hold of it, your business, your operation, your content, your social media, and we can get you to the numbers that you want to be at. We have that option as well. You can go down below, you can apply. We have consulting, and we also have our done-for-you services where we'll do it all for you. So we can do it with you, we can do it all for you. That's up to you. That's up to the discussion that we have together. But we can definitely help. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.